What's up, North Philly Mo?
What up, C? I can't call it, bro. What's happening?
Not much, not much. Let's get into this game.
What's up?
It's a tough game coming up for us.
Yeah, we got
So
the Lions. They coming to the link. The Lions and the link. What it's gonna be? It's us or them.
yeah, I'm
It's gonna
going with
be
the
us.
Eagles. I got to
Yeah.
go with the Eagles,
Oh,
right?
no doubt.
I got to go with the Eagles
No
because
doubt. We
you
gonna get
know,
the dub.
yeah. I mean, we gonna. It's a lot of things going on in Philly right now, but I think, I had a when I first thought about it, I think you and I talked the other day, I was totally kind of against, AJ. So, after I heard more stuff and just started listening to what he said and stuff, even though I don't like him airing our dirty laundry, he has a point. You know what I'm trying to say, far as, and I think you kind of alluded to that when we talked about it too. We got to do better. But that's what I probably looked at everything and kind of listened to what other people were saying and listened to his interview. I kind of concluded that after thinking about it a couple minutes. I know my thought don't count.
Hey, look, man. Sometimes you gotta bring stuff to the forefront. You've
Right.
been
Yeah.
holding that stuff in for quite some time. Yes, it
Right.
came out last year somewhat, but it's rearing its ugly head again this year. I mean, come on, man. We in week 11. Week 11. And like he said, if the offense keep flowing like it's flowing, we probably going to have problems a little bit later. So now's the time to fix it
Right.
right now. And it's not all about trying to get the ball to AJ. It's not about that. It's about getting that offense going. And he's a part of our offense. So by him saying what he said, maybe it'll wake a whole bunch of people up.
It woke us up last year. So,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
so
with him.
yeah, we got to go out there and play. You got to play because you can't kind of score 10 points against the top teams. If you
Mm-mm.
go score 10 points against you know Detroit,
We're going to lose.
you're gonna lose.
Absolutely.
You score 10 points to Tampa or the Rams, you're gonna lose. So even the only thing I always say, you don't air your dirty laundry, but I guess you know maybe he talked to somebody already. So and nobody's doing anything different.
Right.
But you know what I could really kind of conclude to really, and I'm probably just saying this based off of 23 collapse
Mm-hmm.
because I think you and I talked about the 23 collapse too. 23 collapse had a lot to do with the defense also.
Right.
Um, but I don't know how good of a play caller is Nick. I don't know. He's an offensive coach, but I don't know if he can fix what's going on. Even when you have look at Campbell. He kind of took over the play calling from the offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Nick can do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a thought. So
Well, looking at the offensive coordinator, the new offensive coordinator we have. I mean, you've seen glimpses of what the offense can be. It's
hmm
just the consistency is not there yet, but you can see it. You can see it, and I'm hoping
right,
this week we can put it together and finally get this train on the right track. Because right now, we kind of going like this. We just gotta keep it moving straight. I truly believe that's gonna happen because you see it. It's
right.
just again, it's just not consistent.
That's what it
So
is because when we played against Minnesota, we played well, and we played against the Giants, we played well as an offense. So it's there.
mhm.
And then I think a lot of people kind of blew this whole thing out because you got to think of Green Bay have a tough defense. I don't care what nobody said. They was on Jalen, but he might have didn't get sacked, but he had some pressures.
Absolutely.
Um, and
It's tough to win in Green Bay anyway. It's just tough.
right,
You on
right,
the road, it's tough to win in these venues.
right,
So, I mean, they don't call it the frozen tundra for nothing.
right, right.
Cats, they really don't want to go up there and play. So,
Look, we didn't even want to go up there to watch the game. So I can imagine that shit play, right? We like to, hell no, we ain't going
Right.
on Green Bay or
No, we ain't going
Buffalo to
to
watch
Green
no
Bay,
game.
man. No,
We
I'm
ain't
not
going
sitting
there.
out in the cold, man. Why? For what?
Nah. I can sit
No, I'm
home
not
and
doing that.
chill.
Not to say that we can't, but
Hmm.
why when you don't have to?
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
I really think that they're gonna get this ship, sailing in the right direction. For sure. It's coming,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's coming.
Let's hit on the defense real quick. What do
Hmm.
but Alexander, stepping away from the game, who do you put at that corner?
Well, right now, according to Big Vangio, uh Dory Jackson has come along, since the beginning of the season. And
Okay.
yes, you can't help a receiver catching a ball in front of you. That's going to happen.
Right.
He's not giving up touchdowns and stuff like that. And he's not really getting beat bad. As a
Right.
matter of fact, these last few games, he's been playing really, really well. We
You
do
ain't
have
hear his
Jacory.
name call. You ain't hear his name call.
That
So
means he's doing something right.
that's a good thing, right?
And then you got Jacorian Bennett who's back. I'm almost certain he's probably going to be the backup to Dory Jackson. So
Right.
I think we going in the right direction on the defense. I mean, we got a shutdown corner in Quinyon Mitchell, right? It don't seem like he's getting the credit that he deserves from the pundits or from the league. Nobody is doing anything on this kid.
Well,
And he was, huh?
Troy Aikman gave him his
He's
flowers
just
in Green
one
Bay.
person. He's just
Oh,
one
okay.
person,
All
see.
right. Yeah.
I'm talking about it, it should be a worldwide thing with this kid
Right.
because
Right.
he's shutting everybody down. So give him his props. He's a shutdown corner. He's a lockdown corner.
And
Give him his props.
he has some good plays against Green
Oh,
Bay.
yeah. And
Yeah.
he's physical. He's physical. He's an in your
Hmm.
face corner. He's not giving you 5, 6, 8 to 10 yard cushion. No, he right there in your face. Like, yeah, come on, let's go. So
Right.
that's what I really love about the kid. He's really aggressive and he can play that position at a high level.
Yes, he can. Yeah, we in a good spot. I
Hmm.
truly believe. I truly believe. He's a difference maker. I think the defense as a whole is coming around. We'll see how they perform this week, but I'm really, I don't have this. I don't feel like I felt last year,
Hmm.
like far as saying that we going all the way and nobody's going to beat us. You know, I have to see the defense. I truly believe if the defense can be consistent, then we got a good shot of repeating this year because it's all about the defense to me. I know offense having problems,
Hmm.
but I think Jalen needs to be a little bit more. He should take risks a little bit more. And I understand he's trying to, protect that ball, but what I'm saying, you got to let that rock go sometimes, and just not hope for or wish for the best, but you have to trust your receivers to go get it because he trusts Smitty, and I believe he trusts AJ, um, but he needs to trust all his players to me. So let it
Yeah,
go when they open.
I think it's going to start this week. I think the train is getting ready to roll, baby. I'm telling you. Last year, when they asked AJ, hey, what do you think is wrong with the offense? He said passing.
Hmm.
And then what happened the very next game against Pittsburgh? Hey, Hurts lit him up. And AJ and everybody on offense got theirs. And then, Jalen sat down and said, hey, is that what y'all wanted to see? So
Yeah.
I believe that we're going to get back to that. Using everybody on the offense, the receivers, the tight end, the running back. We getting ready to get back to showing what we are, what we made of, and where we're going. So that's how I see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I do too. You know, that's my hope too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really, I don't like a lot of noise. I like peace.
Hmm.
And, right now, the Eagles, they got too much stuff going on right now. But the one thing I really like that I thought was cool when they interview the players that I saw, they basically saying, offensive players like AJ Wright, we need to do better. And I really like that. And I understand what Jalen is basically saying. Jalen takes a different approach.
Hmm.
He's basically saying, the collective process, we need to get better and we need to do this. And I
Right.
understand how he is. He has to be, lack of a better word, adult in
Transparent.
the room. You got to be
Hmm.
adult in the room and
Yeah.
have to settle people down and
Right.
don't want people to get too, too crazy, and
Too high and too low.
too low. So that's his thing.
Hmm.
But the players, they know what they have to do. But I think it's something you said earlier in the year, and it's still the case now. It's all nobody. Everybody's overlooking the offensive line. They don't understand when you have two of your starters out, you have your center out, and you had your right tackle out. You're gonna have issues on that line.
Hmm.
You're gonna have issues, but nobody saying and nobody looking at that. And I'm like, dude,
They're not.
our line is not healthy. That's the main problem. I don't even think Landon Dickerson is healthy. You
Well, he's been
know,
playing injured all year. He's
yeah.
just a
So
warrior like that. But
yeah,
you
so
know,
I'm just saying it is what it is, but at the same time, they got to understand, we do what we have to do, trying to get this thing ship rolling, but we also
hmm,
have issues, with our offensive line. So
yeah.
what's your prediction for the score? I mean, what's the score you're predicting?
Well, before I go into a score real quick, I mean, let's talk about the Lions real quick. They coming in with a prolific offense. They averaging like 31 points a game. So we're gonna have to shut that down. They got Gibbs at running back. They got Montgomery at running back. Jared Goff, I truly believe if you put the pressure on him, hey, you can squeeze him. They got Jameson Williamson out there. They got St. Brown out there. They coming in with a nice offense. So we're gonna have to
And
shut them down.
they got a pretty good defense too. Their
And I was
defense
going to
ain't
get to
shabby.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, their
okay.
defensive line is like that. They got some edge rushers over there that can do what they do. So we got to nullify that. The offensive line gonna have to nullify that. And then our D line is gonna have to punish Golf. They're gonna have to punish him. Because if you get that kid any amount of time, he gonna hurt you. So, and they scheme their wide receivers open. So the defense got to be on their P's and Q's.
Yeah,
But we're gonna get them though. They coming to the link.
it's gonna be a good game.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna
Oh
be a good
yeah.
game. It's not
But
gonna be 10-7.
no, it ain't gonna be 10-7. Nah.
Not gonna
But if
be
I had to
10-7.
predict a score on that one, I would say Eagles 30, Lions 21.
Yeah,
What you think?
34-21 Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah,
There you have it.
yeah, because I feel that it depends on who have the ball first. I have both of them scoring on the open possession. Um, so
So you got them, you got the Lions getting the ball and scoring on us with their first possession.
hmm
I don't have that. Yeah, I got us. I got them going 4 and out. I ain't gonna say 3 and out. I got them going 4 and out. They first possession. 4 and out.
okay.
Book it. For real. Book that. Book
Yeah,
that shit.
right.
You ain't scoring yet. That our defense look like
Because
they tightening up them screws, man. And they
because
back to being the Broad Street bullies.
go back and look at the games, right?
Mm-hmm.
When a team scoring the Eagles first, it put a sense of urgency in them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have noticed. I don't even if they kick a field goal, they play different once they get scored on.
So
And
it's
I
like
know
they
how
wake
quick.
up.
Yeah, they almost like because it's they don't come out and be aggressive. They just don't, which I don't understand. So anyway, yeah. So
Well,
we're
I
gonna
like us
see.
to get the dub at the link. It's a night game. Oh man, the fans are gonna be rabid at that game.
Yes,
And you
sir.
got, remember you had St. Brown, he talking all that talking about they can't wait to play us and this, that, and the third, and got knocked off by the Commanders in the playoffs last year at home. But people talk about they had a bunch of injuries and this and that. Look, you play with what you got on the field. We can't help injuries. It's a part of the game. Don't talk about that. Just go out and play. Now you're getting ready to get your shot at the link.
Yes,
Sunday
sir.
night football. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. All right, North Philly Mo. We'll catch up again, brother.
Yes, sir, bro. Move safe out there.
I
Peace.
will. Peace.